Okay, I am so excited you guys are here. Like, seriously. I feel like I haven't seen you forever. I see you online every day, but
It's been a long journey, huh?
I'm super excited that you're here. So
fun.
So Jill, we'll start with you because you're mom, and then Avery will circle back and we'll end with you if you're cool with that. But Jill, you and I met I think it's been 9 years.
Yeah, Soul Sisters.
It's been I think it's been about 9 years.
Before you had your business.
Before,
Full blown.
Before it actually started.
Yeah.
And you literally changed my life in so many positive ways, like in terms of your approach with people and how you talk to people and how you interact. And I think the thing that I take away from our relationship and from first meeting was that you had a confidence about me and what I was doing, and really believed in my love and my passion for helping people. And you talked to other people about how hard I worked and just my work ethic and things of that nature. And for that, I will always be grateful to you, because I really feel like that helped me get things off the ground and actually run this business. So I appreciate that.
Of course. We always know that the world steps aside for the person that knows where they're going. And you, from the day I met you, Kara, you knew where you were going. You had no doubt. Your vision was so big, and you had vision and belief in anything you do, whether it's playing sports or building a business or anything. It always comes down to vision and belief.
So we met in Huntington Beach at Surf City.
Yeah.
When Surf City was around.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Cottrell actually gave me a chance, which was pretty amazing, because that's how I ended up getting Eden Frazier and all those kids to sign up early on. I will never forget walking into the gym and then running into Craig Pisani, and they weren't all on the same page, and Craig came totally unglued on me. I almost cried. I was so upset because the two hadn't communicated that I was coming in to talk to the families. And then there you were, like my little angel. You're like, it's fine. It'll all work out.
It's amazing what she's done for Avery. We hadn't really done anything.
We hadn't done anything. It was like...
I was selling you before you were sold.
It was
for
awesome.
Sure. I believed in you. You had that deep passion inside and that deep, I guess, fire in your belly to succeed at what you wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, and failure wasn't an option.
Well, failure is success, and success is failure. So.
Yeah. So we met, and Avery was playing at Surf City. You were playing for Kevin Ray, right? Was that your first year you played for Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
And you started playing, you were playing for Kevin, and we really kind of got started on the journey at that point. Did you stay at Surf City the whole time? I don't remember. Or did you go back to Laguna?
No, I stayed.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You stayed at Surf City the whole time.
Yeah.
And then you ended up finishing with Adam, right?
With Adam and Casey Patterson.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
How funny, because now you're on the beach playing professionally, and so you see Casey. Do you guys laugh and talk about him coming in to train? Because he used to come in and train with Adam, right?
I know.
Just a young
so
kid.
crazy. Yeah.
And now here he is today. Dude, he is a rock star.
Yeah, he's awesome. Olympian.
I know. I love his energy, and I love his haircuts, and I love his social media presence. It's pretty amazing. So, that's so funny how the volleyball community just kind of all comes together, and everybody, ends up knowing each other. So let's talk about, you went through the recruiting process.
Mm-hmm.
You end up at LMU. You play for the infamous Tom Black. What was your experience like?
I loved it. I would do anything to go back. I am obsessed with my experience there. I loved my coaches. Tom Black, John Mayer, Betsy Flitt, Felly, my absolute dream coaches. I loved it. And I honestly feel like the coaching experience can make or break your career and your overall just love for the game. And I just had such an amazing experience, and it would not have been the same with different coaches. So I'm so thankful.
What did you love most about Tom's coaching style?
I love that everything was mindset based. So you weren't focused on results, you were focused on the process, and just it was okay to make mistakes. You didn't have to be perfect because you were constantly learning, and I think that is so different from so many other coaches. And I just loved that you didn't have to worry about being perfect. You could make mistakes and you could learn from them, and that's what it was all about. Trusting in the process.
What was it like to, you guys, they filmed all your practices because Tom is like super, like detailed, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to sit and watch film with them and talk about your practice and then talk about that process and like how that worked exactly?
Yeah. I was always late, or I would miss the meetings. So I'd have to run from it. But when I did go, it was just awesome. I mean, just to see your progress, and like he told you some pretty harsh truths, which you needed to hear. And like I was literally always scared to go to the meetings because I was just always so nervous. And by the end of my senior year, I was so excited to go because I wanted to learn and I wanted to grow. And I think that's really what he hammers into your mind, is that it's all about growing and it's all about learning, and it's about having a growth mindset over a fixed. And if that's the biggest thing I could take away, it's that mindset shift of really constantly wanting to learn and grow, and you know, looking at your mistakes, knowing that you're making a mistake and wanting to change, instead of saying like, oh, that's because of this, because of that, making excuses for yourself. So really having that growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset has just been such a game changer, not only in volleyball, but in every aspect of my life. And I'm so grateful for that, because without that mindset shift, I would not be where I am today, career-wise, volleyball and career.
Yeah.
So
well, I think probably the greatest blessing with that coaching style too, like, is even with your mom, with having just also kind of a growth mindset and always wanting to learn from people and her approach. I think it was such an amazing coaching fit from that regard too, because it was kind of the way you were raised, was always to work hard. I mean, incredible work ethic. Your mom always had an incredible work ethic and grinded and, you know, worked her tail off, and your dad too, and also very so humbling and grateful and just appreciative and genuine with people. I think that's probably what Tom loved most about you, but definitely probably your family.
Yeah, I don't think he liked me very much in the beginning, because I was kind of all over the place, and by the end we were like best friends, like so close. So it's amazing what can happen over 4 years and how close those relationships are with your coaches. It's incredible.
When you, you know, with the girls that you played with, what were some of the biggest challenges? Some people come back and they talk about, you know, literally eat, sleep, and breathe, not only volleyball, but your teammates, and not always getting a break. Like, you really have to embrace this culture. What do you think the biggest challenges were? You know, you had your own room growing up. Now all of a sudden you're sharing a room and you're with your teammates 24/7. What were some of your biggest challenges?
So I always loved my roommates all 4 years. Rochelle Suava is like my sister. Tara, she's another sister of mine. Alyssa has become my best friend. We were actually same position, roommates and best friends. So that was always hard. Like, we were literally battling for the exact same spot. It was one of us that was on the court or off. So that was pretty challenging. But I would say the most challenging part is that, I don't know, like, I just feel like sometimes not everybody has your back. And I think that's something where, you know, on a team you want everybody to have your back. But the reality is that everybody's competing, and it's a dog-eat-dog world. And I think I wanted it more to be like, these are all my besties and they'll never talk shit or anything like that. And it definitely wasn't like that at all. And I think that's kind of how the volleyball world will always be. And some of my best friends have come from that, and the people that would never do that. But then you also have, you know, other people that will talk crap, and we've all been there. So
Yeah.
that was a challenge for me, for sure, because there were times where I felt super lonely. Like I would literally go into the bathroom and cry because I felt like, especially when my best friend did leave, I felt like I really didn't have that strong friendship on the court. So, or travel trips and stuff too.
Yeah. Did you always travel?
Mhm.
You did. Was anybody ever left behind?
Mhm.
What was that like for those athletes that are left behind? When Sam and I help people through the recruiting process, we have them ask questions about what the travel squad is,
Mhm.
how many are on it. Does anybody get left behind? What's the process of who gets left behind?
Yeah.
For people that were left behind, what was that like?
I don't know. Was I ever left behind? Yeah, I don't think I was. And like, I walked on to LMU, so you know, that was probably expected to be left behind. I don't think they left a lot of people behind, but they definitely, you know, if somebody for sure wasn't gonna play, then
There was no need to travel.
yeah. And so you know, budget and everything like that. But I was just so fortunate. Like, I was just so happy just to be there, and I think like I had so much energy on the sidelines, and I was just really pumping the team up and always being so positive that I think I was definitely a help being there, even though I wasn't on the court my first 2 years. I played a little bit my sophomore year, but being able to just pump up the team and bring that fire and that energy, I think made it so that they wanted me to be there.
How did you embrace your role? You know, there's a lot of athletes that, you know, go through this whole recruiting process. You know, you were a stud in high school, you were a stud at the club level, you played, you were an impact player on your teams. To transition and go to the college level and go to the college team, to not step foot on the court your freshman year and work your tail off to get there your sophomore year, to travel and them knowing that you weren't going to play. Talk to me a little bit about your acceptance of your role and what that process was like.
Yeah. I honestly, because I walked on and because it was such a last minute thing, I didn't expect to play my first year, my first couple of years, and then I felt like I didn't have that confidence yet. And then because of Tom's mindset training, I had this shift, and I was like, I'm getting on that court. Like, one way or another, I'm getting on there. And I just made that mindset shift, and it was all about the process. And so I wasn't focused on whether I was playing or whether I wasn't. I was focused on the process, and I knew if I trusted in that I would find a spot on the court. And it's crazy because, like, I remember Tom told me once, like, you are just so hardworking. Like, I think it was my senior night, he just was talking about that. And it's true. Like, I showed up every day wanting to learn and wanting to get better. And there was definitely a time in my career where I was comparing myself to another defender that I just was like, this girl's playing in front of me. And so it was this comparison thing that did not help me at all. You know, like, if you're comparing yourself and you're, you know, focused on this girl's playing and I'm not, it's not going to do anything for your performance. It's just going to hurt it. And I remember Tom pulled me in and was like, and I cried to him about it, and I'm like, I just feel like I'm so much better than this girl, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you're comparing yourself, and that's something you can never do. So that was a huge learning lesson for me.
When girls are going through the recruiting process and somebody's playing and then somebody is not playing, and parents are going through the process and they're so frustrated and they're talking to their kids and they're comparing, can you give an example of something that he said that helped you overcome that comparison? Because I think it's natural for us to say, well, I'm a better libero, why am I not playing? You know, what were some of the reasons that, you know, Tom made the decisions that he did to play one person over the other? Do you know?
I think part of it was probably that she was just more mentally strong than I was. And I think, obviously, if I was comparing myself, I wasn't yet ready to take on that position. So I think just really trusting in that process and not focused on the results was a huge thing for him, and I think he needed to see that mindset shift.
To have confidence to put you on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, the team performs better if you're not so focused on...
Yeah. Like if you're going to go on and make a mistake and it's fall to your knees and it's this huge deal, you know, that's not going to help the team at all. So
Right.
I think he really wanted to see individuals out there that were so mentally strong that he didn't even have to think twice about putting them in.
Right. Because you could just embrace it and get out there and just rock and not be worried, move on to the next point. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's helped you in your career as well?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's talk about what you're doing now.
So I actually followed in my mom's footsteps. I watched her create an incredible business, and I wanted nothing to do with it in the beginning, and then realized this is a way for me to pursue my passion and to keep playing beach volleyball. And so originally I jumped in because I saw it as a way to have the funds to keep playing, and it became a passion in and of itself, and I just fell in love with helping people and showing people how to live this incredible dream life where you can literally work from your phone and get a paycheck on your phone. And I watched her kill it since I was in 4th grade, and I wanted her life. I wanted the freedom. I wanted the travel. I wanted the paycheck. I wanted to just have that. And when I was watching my friends come out of college and they were just trading time for money and you know, going to work, coming home just to fall asleep and wake up and do it all over again, I'm like, no, I've seen my dad do this. I want what my mom has. And that's when I decided to jump in, and I built it big, and it's been amazing. So
you're still playing volleyball. You're
am.
on the pro tour.
Yeah, I'm pursuing pro, and it's been amazing, and I'm just so focused on just trusting the process.
What is, where are you training? What's your practice? Tell me a little bit about your training schedule and what you're doing right now.
Yeah, so I'm training with the P1440 group, which is Carrie Walsh's new tour. Awesome coaches, Marcio, Marcos, Artur, and it's been awesome. Great group of girls, competitive, high reps, and I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to just go and just take care of that in the gym and on the court, and yeah.
Who is going to be your partner this year? Do you know?
I feel like it's always up in the air. With beach, you never know. I've been playing with Tracy Weimer, who's an awesome player, such a stud. Played with her this last year, and she broke her finger. She's just coming back, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So
no one knows what goes on in the partnering world. Like even me, I'm in the industry and I see stuff that happens. What are conversations really like about partnerships? Can you talk about what it's been like to have different partners and how these conversations go, the maturity that has to go somewhat behind it, not taking things personally, right? Is that some of it?
Yeah, so Betsy Flint, who's my absolute role model, she told me from the beginning, this sport is like being in a relationship. And I'm like, what? There's no way. And it's so true. Like, you are in a relationship. You have to build that on and off the court. And if somebody gets over you, or like they have eyes on somebody else, like they will go and play with somebody else, and you're left heartbroken. And when I first heard that, I'm like, there is no way, and it's just become so real. So
it's just hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because you never know. Nothing is set in stone. It's not like you're on a team and you are with a coach who's gonna tell you like you're playing here, you're playing here, you're playing here. You just never know what's gonna happen, and you never know who you're gonna be playing with. And so it's a mindset battle. Honestly, it's hard. Defenders, definitely there are a lot of defenders and not a lot of blockers, so that's another thing. You're constantly competing to get a blocker, and so
It's tough.
it's tough. More tough for defenders, I'd say too.
Yeah. What do you love about playing on the beach?
I love that you get to be a part of every play, and I remember I always wanted to be a setter because you could touch every ball, and that's what I love about the beach is that you can pass, set, hit, you can do it all, serve, and you get to play front row. So at Alumni, I was a DS, and I would play outside sometimes during practices if we didn't have an outside there, and I was like, Tom will tell you, I was like the queen of getting tools and like scoring, and yeah, so it's just so fun to be able to do it all on the beach.
What has been the biggest challenge playing on the beach for you so far?
I think just figuring out partners, and I think it's hard when you're constantly switching. That was always hard for me, and never knowing what's going to happen. So just really having that mindset, and then also like the qualifiers are really, really tough. You get to that third game to get in, and you lose in 3, 15, 13, and it's just heartbreaking because you're so close, and that's just been really, really tough because you get so far, and then
Yeah.
But that's just how it is, and everybody's had to go through it. So just again, being mentally strong
Sure.
is so huge.
Yeah. When it comes to your business now, so you own your own business with Arbonne. Talk a little bit about what that experience has been like, what you've learned from your mom, what you're doing differently, and how you balance beach training and your personal business.
Yeah. So I just try to find that healthy balance. Like the reason that I'm able to play beach volleyball is because of this business, and I'm so passionate about both of them. So really trying to find that healthy balance, and it's just been awesome. Like it's a way for me to travel and play without having to worry about finances and without having to call off from a boss and worry about any of that. And so what I love about Arbonne is that it really helps you to grow into the absolute best version of yourself and to embrace who you are and own it. And that's just helped me so much with confidence for volleyball. And I love it because it's a way to show other people like you can pursue your dreams and you can keep playing volleyball and you don't have to be tied to a job. Like there is a better way. And I love that I can work this business in the nooks and crannies of my day, 10 hours a week, and make a full-time income. And yeah, do it with my best friends. And
Sure.
yeah.
When you brought up something that's interesting, the financial part of people that are playing on the tour, that are playing professionally, just how hard it is. Like you're playing because you love the game, but you're not necessarily playing for money because there's just not a lot of money. I mean, really talk about how many people are struggling. Everyone?
Yeah.
Like there's like 6 to 8 girls that aren't, and then everybody else is, and the men's side too. Like, how does this work?
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like I've seen Olympians come back and work full-time jobs. One of our really good friends came back from playing in the Olympics to working a full-time job, and that's just crazy to me because you look at the NBA, you look at like these other pro sports where they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars, and that's definitely possible in volleyball. I don't know if millions and millions, but when you have those sponsorships and endorsements, like the top of the top of the top of the top. So yeah, like I would say like maybe like 5 to 6, and I'm just working my way up from the qualifiers. So like you have to pay to play to be in the qualifier, and then when you get in, you get paid to be in the show. But it's crazy because like you're paying for traveling, you're paying for the gym, you're paying for coaching, you're paying to play, you're paying for Uber and food and all that when you're out on travel trips. And hotels and all that, and it's a lot. And so it's crazy because it's definitely not a lucrative sport like
Right.
some of the other ones.
Right. So it's just a grind.
It's a grind, yeah.
It's a grind.
Yeah.
And
I think
emotionally, a lot of girls seem emotionally stressed about all of it as well. Like, how can you not be if you're trying to figure out how to pay for all of your travel, pay for all this stuff, and then pay to live?
Exactly. And
Do you feel like people have been attracted and like are trying to learn more a little bit about what you're doing so that they can kind of balance and do something similar?
yeah, absolutely. I feel like so many people have reached out like, Ave, what are you doing? Like, I want to do this. I want to be able to play. I want to be able to travel. Like, you're living your dream life. How are you doing it? And so it's so fun for me to share and give this life away. And I just love it because we're doing so much virtually, and it's literally as easy as just, hey, let's just hop on a call. And that's how we build our business. And it's like from the comfort of your home, from playing overseas, from playing, on a travel trip, and you can just hop on a call and build your business. And it's been so fulfilling and rewarding and fun to give it away. And yeah.
Jill, for you watching Avery, like what do you feel like you're most proud of? Like when you look at her journey, you see where she is now. What are the things that you're most proud of?
I'm super proud of her. But the thing is, everything that happened at LMU set her up for her success on the beach and also in her business. So those few years that she didn't play the first year, and then the second year she came in and out, and Tom's coaching, I don't know that she would be exactly where she is today without him. Honestly, I have great admiration and respect for him, and whoever plays under him is so lucky. And for business and volleyball, I know that volleyball is her number one, but what's so amazing about her is she's able to put in the hard work in both, and neither one suffers. And I don't know, it could be because it's the business that you don't have to be present all the time in your business. You can focus on what you need to focus on, and then Arbonne becomes a side hustle for her. So her full-time hustle is volleyball and working out at the gym, and then Arbonne's a side hustle. But the side hustle is giving her the full-time income to play the sport.
Yeah.
So I'm just proud on how dedicated and disciplined she is and how committed she is. And that growth mindset, she's taught me so much in business from volleyball. I mean, they say athletes are the best business people. They compete in the business arena. And everything that she's learned from Tom that she's taught to me and our teams has been just priceless. And, one of those is you either win or you learn. And I've, so many times I feel like I'm not winning in my business, even as successful as I am. Everybody goes through, dips and valleys in their business. And I always say, what do I need to learn from this? Because I am going to win again.
It's about Arbonne.
I love that you can live your dream life and you don't have to trade time for money, and that you can build a business that will pay you whether you show up or not. And I just love it. Like, even if I didn't get paid, I would still do it because the community, the best friends that I found from this, you find your team again. That team that you had playing in college or whatever, those close friends that you had, you find them again. The people that really love on you and build you up and empower you and inspire you. And it's just been such an amazing journey. And I'm just beyond grateful for this business. And I really jumped in for the money and for a way to pursue my passion. And more than anything, like, my cup is so full at the end of the day because I get to give it away and watch other people pursue their dreams or walk away from their full-time jobs. And it's like the most rewarding thing ever. So.
And for me, I would say that there's a few things. I mean, the products are amazing, being vegan and gluten-free and non-GMO and all of that. But to be able to build something before I needed it, I still don't need it yet. But having that asset income to come in my future years is amazing. To not be able to not have to show up to a 9-to-5. And then also, people always say you only have 18 summers with your kids, but with this business, it seems like the best 18 are on the back half after the kids turn 18 because you're traveling everywhere with them. You have the funds to do that. And I don't think I've missed maybe 1 or 2 AVP tournaments that she's played in. And to be able to have the freedom and the flexibility to travel and the finances to go and stay. I mean, we've had the most amazing trips. The two of us, we're like sisters more than we are mother-daughter. And the best thing is when I hear her speak at these events and she says, my mom's my best friend. And it's because she's always present in my life. Like that to me, it's priceless.
Right. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story and being a part of it. And
well, we're so proud of you, Kara, and what you've built. I mean, it's so absolutely
Killing
amazing. You're a household name now in the volleyball world. Where when I met you, you were. I can remember we were. How do I get in contact with this coach? I'm like, just call him. Like, have a relationship with me. It's a know me, like me, trust me business. It's everything I do in my business. It relates to what you do in your business, and that's how when you started, we kind of talked about that. It's the same thing. There's no difference,
There really isn't. I would say that probably what's made us the most unique is having personal relationships with the coaches, and honestly, caring, really caring about people. Not only caring about your client and really wanting to build a relationship with them and understand what makes them tick or how they operate, finding the perfect fit in their college experience, knowing the coaches, getting to know the coaches, and really being able to find that perfect fit has been really, really important. Like, a coach can make or break your experience. I'm sure you saw several people that, didn't embrace what, Tom's coaching style, or just had such a hard time with it that it was like, this isn't working for me. I need to find something else because it's just not working. We've tried so hard to get to know everyone and try and just make it easy for them to get in touch with us too, so that we can understand like what goes on in your gym. There's no judgment. Sam and I will always tell a coach, like, there's no judgment with how you run your program. There's a perfect fit for everyone. Like, there's somebody that can come into your gym and rock your world because they get you. And whether you're in business, whether you're playing on the pro tour, whether you are running my business, whatever you're doing in life, it's all about relationships and communication and learning how to communicate. And that's been a big thing, is wanting to just understand how, the coaches work. But I appreciate the fact that you encouraged that so early. That's what made us unique.
It's the head and heart connection. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing to have watched what's happened to you.
Oh,
so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you guys, well, thanks.
Thanks
for coming in. If people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
My number or Instagram.
What's your Instagram name?
It is Avery, A-V-E-R-Y, Celine, C-E-L-I-N-E.
Okay.
Or just, I feel like it's so cool because people just reach out to me all the time on Instagram, and I can just help them right away.
Cool.
And you know how to find us.
I know how to find you, but anybody that's watching that actually wants to get in touch with you or learn more about what you're doing.
I think it's Jill Lifestyle. I actually have no idea what my Insta is. I do Facebook a lot, but they can also call me on my cell number.
Okay.
949-212-7786. I just love people, whether they join our business or not. It's just the relationship part just makes life so much more full, and shows you how to have a lot more gratitude, for what you have and how you can help people and stuff. So.
Well, I'm seeing people that are struggling and then bringing them through and watching them grow and seeing how their life changes.
It's a mentorship. It's a mentorship. You get to help them, and
athletes kill it.
They do.
I have so many athletes on my team, and it's just awesome to watch because they set a goal and they hit it, and it's just amazing, and it's so fun.
There's Avery has the opportunity she had, to go to LMU when she wasn't scholarshiped because of my business.
Right.
And she wouldn't have had that opportunity had it not been for my business. And so I'm forever grateful because there were a lot of choices where she could have gone, and maybe played other places and gotten her schooling paid for, but that was her choice, and we were able to make it happen. And thanks to you too, Kara, because you were a big part of that. You were just starting your business, but you were talking to the coaches, you were showing belief in Avery, great family, great kid, you're going to want her on your team. And at the end of the day, when Avery left, it was a really hard day for Tom Black. The goodbye wasn't easy. So yeah, it was just the perfect match.
You were fortunate that you got to finish with him
I was so lucky.
because he left after you left, right?
Yeah, he left after I left, and I don't know what I would have done if I was still there and he was leaving. That would have been really, really, really hard for me. There was 1 year that he was going to go to the Olympics because he was helping coach, and I remember I was really struggling with that because I didn't want him to go. I wanted him to stay with us and be with us for the season. But he ended up not going and stayed with us, and that's one thing about Tom is if he's committed to something, he will be with you the whole way, and he doesn't half-ass anything. He's all in, and he will take every step to make sure that he's going 100%, whether it's in video, it's coaching, it's off the court, whatever it is, he's putting in the effort, and not a lot of people do that.
No, they don't.
Yeah, but we're so grateful for you, Kara, because without you, none of it would have been possible.
Aww.
And had the best experience of my life because of it. And yeah.
Well, thank you.
You just go back and connect the dots, and you know that everything had to fall into place for her to be where she is in her business, and for her to be where she is in her volleyball career as well. And that all started with you believing in her. So it makes a big difference. And so, for me, I would just tell anybody who is ever watching this who's thinking, is it worth the money to hire Kara? It's absolutely worth every penny, because you get so much more than just a player on a court in a college. It's going to change and mold them for the rest of their life where they're placed, and it makes a big difference. And that's where you're critical in helping that child. As a parent, for me, I knew, if it was okay with you and you thought it was great, then it was okay with me. I trusted you.
Thank you.